good afternoon, good night, depending on where you are in the world. Tonight, we're gonna do the beginning of a series called Fights with Chat GPT. Just should be interesting. So let's get down to the first topic. What does Kemet mean? What does Kemet mean? Let's see what Chat GPT has to say. Kemet is the ancient Egyptian name for Egypt, pronounced Kemet. It literally means the black land, referring to the fertile black soil along the Nile River, in contrast to the surrounding desert, which was called Desert Red Land. Would you like help reading or writing in hieroglyphics? No, I like to. I would like to see primary text from the people of Kemet saying, oops, saying it, saying it means black land, referring to the soil. Now let's see what I would know. I would like to see primary text from the people of Kemet saying it means black land, referring to the soil. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. The term Kemet is indeed referenced in ancient Egyptian texts, though the specific reference to it meaning black land in the sense of fertile soil is inferred through various inscriptions and writings, while direct references from the people of Kemet might not always explicitly break down the phrase as black land. In a modern sense, there are several ways this concept is conveyed. The, hold on. The Pyramid Text. These texts, dating from the Old Kingdom around 2350 to 2100 BCE, contain early references to the land of Kemet. The idea of fertility and life that the Nile brought to Egypt is often celebrated in the Pyramid Text, which indirectly supports the idea that the fertile black soil along the Nile was considered central to the identity and subsistence of Kemet. The Coffin Text, Middle Kingdom, 2000 to 1700 BCE. In these texts, Kemet is often contrasted with the Deseret or Red Land Deseret, reinforcing the idea that the black soil Kemet was vital for agricultural and societal prosperity. The term Kemet itself shows up as a reference to the fertile land of Egypt, which was nourished by the annual flooding of the Nile. The Egyptian, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, really known as the Pert and Heru and Gea. Some versions of the Book of the Dead also use the term Kemet, particularly in the context of the fertile land of Egypt versus the arid desert. The symbolic use of the land's color in these texts is often aligned with life and growth versus the red land of the barren desert. Herodotus, 5th century BCE. Though a Greek historian, Herodotus described Egypt's fertile land and its contrast with the surrounding desert in his writings. He mentions the richness of the soil being nurtured by the Nile's flowing, reinforcing the symbolic connection between the color black and fertility. This description aligns with what the Egyptians themselves described symbolically through terms like Kemet. While these texts do not always provide a modern explanatory breakdown we might expect, they strongly imply that the name Kemet is closely tied to the fertile black soil of the Nile Valley, which was a life-giving resource for the civilization. Would you like to explore specific excerpts for further details? Yes. There are some specific examples from the ancient Egyptian texts and other sources that connect the term Kemet to the idea of black land and the fertile soil of Egypt. The pyramid text, the kings often describe as being the possessors of the land, and the term Kemet appears. Although these terms do not explicitly state black land, in every instance they refer to the black land in a symbolic context. In a symbolic context. Yeah. In a symbolic context. In a symbolic context. Okay. The pyramid texts. Here are some specific examples from ancient Egyptian texts and other sources that connect to the term Kemet to their black land and fertile soil. Hmm. The pyramid text. In the pyramid text, the kings are often described as being the possessors of the land, and the term Kemet appears. Although these texts do not explicitly state black land in every instance, they refer to the black land in symbolic context. The king of Kemet, the one who lives in the place where the sun rises, the one who rules the two lands of Ra. Now, how in the world does this imply anything at all about any soil and black land? Let's go to the next one. Here, Kemet refers to Egypt, and the king is positioned as the ruler of the fertile land of the Nile, contrasting with the barren desert. The phrase reflects a connection between Egypt's prosperity and the Nile's life-giving flood, bringing fertile soil to the land. The blackness represents the fertile, life-sustaining soil. The coffin text. I have come from Kemet, the land of the living, where the flowing of the Nile brings the fertile soil. Now, how in the world do they connect Kemet to mean Black Nile silt when it says, I come from Kemet, the land of the living, where the flooding of the Nile brings the fertile soil? I don't understand that one. It clearly connects the term Kemet to the fertile black soil that comes from the Nile flowing. The term is synonymous with the land of abundance and agricultural life, directly relating the black soil to the agricultural richness that sustains Egypt. The Egyptian Book of the Dead. I have come from Kemet to seek life, to live in the land where the flood waters bring prosperity. This is another example where the term Kemet is used metaphorically to signify life, fertility, and sustenance, implying the fertility of the Nile's black soil, which is crucial to the Egyptian concept of the afterlife and spiritual renewal. Herodotus. Egypt is the gift of the Nile, which gives life to the land. Its soil is fertile, rich, and black. The land surrounding it is barren and red, unable to sustain it. These examples show where the ancient Egyptian texts do not always break down Kemet as directly meaning black land. In the modern sense, they consistently describe it as the fertile, life-sustaining land made possible by the Nile's annual flow. The contrast with the red land, Deseret, emphasizes this between Egypt's prosperous soil and the barren desert that surrounded it. So what ChatGPT is saying here, because they mentioned Kemet and black soil in the same sentence, it is to be inferred that they mean the same thing. It is drawing its own conclusion the way that some of these scholars are drawing their conclusions because they see Kemet and Nile silt within the same sentence. They assume that the meaning is the same and not just black. So we need to be careful with Chat GPT when we're looking at it because it draws its conclusion from many sources, and some of these sources are just basically guessing at what these things mean. They are not sure, and there's really no primary text to specifically say that Kemet means the black land, referring to the Nile silt. If anyone disagrees with me or thinks that I am talking crazy, they can leave a comment within this video.